Tonight, as you begin to gently close a long day, you may notice something familiar. Your body feels tired, yet your mind is still awake. Soft thoughts drift through. Vague sensations appear and fade, as if within you, a quiet conversation has never truly stopped. And perhaps, you do not need to win against those thoughts, only to understand them a little more gently. Welcome to Stories for Sleep, a place where stories are not only meant to be heard, but to help you slow down, to feel, and to gradually let go. In this video, we will explore some of the most gentle truths about the mind and the body, things that may seem very small, yet can help you understand yourself more deeply, and from there, drift into sleep more naturally. If you wish for a peaceful space like this each night, you may choose to follow Stories for Sleep and continue this quiet journey. And now, just soften a little. We begin, opening the quiet inner dialogue as night settles and the sounds of the world slowly fade. There is another world, still quietly moving within you. Not loud, not rushed, but continuous, steady, like a conversation that has never truly stopped. Not made of words, but of subtler signals, a slight shift in your heartbeat, a deeper breath, a feeling that appears and dissolves. And if you listen long enough, you may begin to notice that your mind and body are always speaking to one another in ways your awareness rarely touches. From the perspective of Carl Gustav Jung, a human being is not a single separate entity, but a layered system where consciousness and the unconscious, emotion and biology, thought and physical response are constantly interwoven. And within that interweaving, a quiet dialogue is formed, a dialogue without words, yet shaping nearly every experience you have. You do not simply think and then feel. You do not simply feel and then react. Everything happens together like a piece of music, where you are both the listener and the player, without fully hearing the entire melody. Every thought you have is not just in your mind. It becomes electrical signals, moving through billions of neurons. It triggers chemical changes, releases hormones, adjusts your heartbeat, alters your breathing, even changes how your muscles tighten or soften. And in return, your body is constantly sending signals back, a slight ache, a sense of warmth, a quiet fatigue, all of it interpreted by the brain, given meaning, and transformed into what you call emotion or thought. Carl Gustav Jung wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. What moves beneath your awareness is still guiding you, quietly, every day, and much of that unconscious lives within your body, in the way your heart reacts to an old memory, in the way your breath quickens with an unnamed worry, in the way something feels off, even when you cannot explain why. Perhaps you have felt this before, walking into a room and sensing discomfort, though everything seems normal. Meeting someone and feeling trust or hesitation without a clear reason. These are not random. They are the result of that inner dialogue, where past experiences, unspoken memories, and biological responses merge into a single feeling that you experience as intuition. And when you begin to see this, a very gentle realization appears. You do not have a body. You are that body. You are the heartbeat, the breath rising and falling, the electrical signals, and the stories your brain tells to understand them. There is no clear boundary between mind and body, only one system, observing, responding, and adjusting itself. And this changes how you see fatigue, stress, even sleep. Sometimes you believe you cannot sleep because of too many thoughts, but perhaps it is not only thought, Perhaps your body is still in a state of alertness. The heart has not fully slowed. The breath remains shallow. The nervous system is still listening for a danger you are not aware of. And so, the mind keeps moving, as if trying to keep you awake. From Jung's perspective, sleep is not only biological, it is also psychological. It is the moment when consciousness softens, so the unconscious may speak. But for that to happen, the body must feel safe. Only when there is no perceived threat can the system allow deep rest. And this is why trying to force sleep rarely works, because sleep does not come from control, but from release. When you understand that your experience is shaped by this ongoing dialogue, something changes. You no longer need to silence your thoughts. You only need to listen to your body a little more, a deeper breath, a soft awareness in your chest, a quiet recognition that right now you are safe. And slowly, that inner dialogue begins to soften. Perhaps you begin to notice your body is not something to control, but a companion trying to communicate in the only way it knows. Tension is not the enemy, but a signal. Unease is not a disturbance, but a message. And when you stop resisting and simply observe, something subtle shifts. The dialogue continues, but no longer as an automatic reaction. It becomes a space where you can be present without needing to understand everything, without needing to control everything, just being. And in that presence, a deep quiet may emerge. Not silence, but harmony, like music, where nothing is out of place anymore. And perhaps this is where sleep begins. Not when everything stops, but when everything is allowed to be as it is. When mind and body no longer try to speak louder than each other, but begin to listen. And now, you do not need to do anything. Your body is already working for you. Your mind is already arranging things in its own way. And beneath all of that, there is a rhythm, ancient, natural, gently guiding you toward rest. Just listen a little, and you may begin to feel it. And as you continue to listen, not with your ears, but with a soft awareness, you may notice your body knows more than you think, not through thought, but through feeling. A quiet intelligence, without words, yet deeply precise. There are moments when you feel tired, without knowing why. Not because you have done too much, but perhaps because you have been holding too much. Unspoken thoughts, unfelt emotions, unformed worries. They do not disappear. They simply take another form, one that the body must carry. Carl Gustav Jung said, "The body is the mirror of the soul." And if this is true, then every sensation is a reflection, not to trouble you, but to gently show you what needs attention. And when you pause, just for a moment, when you stop trying to fix anything and allow everything within you to exist, your body begins to feel safer. The nervous system softens, the heart slows, the breath deepens, and the mind no longer needs to speak so loudly. Slowly, like gentle waves, a quiet calm spreads within you. Not emptiness, but a soft fullness, as if everything is returning to its place. And in that state, sleep is no longer something you search for. It arrives naturally, like floating and allowing the water to hold you. Because deep within, your body already knows how to rest. Your mind already knows how to be still. You may only need to remember how to trust that. And perhaps, right now, you do not need to understand anything more. Just be here with your breath, with this quiet rhythm, and allow this silent dialogue to become a gentle stillness, carrying you softly into sleep. Distributed intelligence in the body. There is a very quiet idea, yet one that can gently change how you understand yourself. Intelligence does not exist only in the brain. It is distributed throughout the entire body. We often believe that I am the brain, the place where decisions are made, where thinking happens, where everything is controlled. But if you listen a little more closely, you may begin to notice that your body is also speaking to you in very subtle ways. A light sensation in your chest when you meet someone, a tightening in your stomach when you feel anxious, a soft wave of relaxation when you feel safe. These are not only emotions, they are information. Your gut, home to trillions of bacteria, does more than digest food. It continuously sends signals to your brain through a complex network of nerves. Sometimes it is called a second brain, not because it thinks like the brain, but because it can process and respond to information on its own. Those microorganisms within your microbiome, tiny forms of life you never see, can influence how you feel each day. They help produce neurotransmitters, chemicals linked to mood, energy, even a sense of calm. And then, your heart. It is not only a pump, it has its own rhythm, and that rhythm shifts with your emotions. When you are stressed, it becomes irregular, hurried. When you are at ease, it becomes smoother, more coherent. And interestingly, your brain listens to that rhythm and adjusts itself accordingly, as if the body does not only receive commands, but constantly responds and shapes the system in return. Your immune system is the same. It does not only fight bacteria or viruses. It responds to stress. It changes when you feel lonely. It behaves differently when you are rested, when you feel safe, when you are connected to others. All of these systems, gut, heart, immune, are not separate. They are part of a living network where information is always moving back and forth, and the brain is only one center within that network, not the whole of it. Carl Gustav Jung once said, "The body is not merely a machine. It is the visible expression of the psyche." Perhaps this explains why sometimes you know something before you can explain it in words. A gut feeling, a soft intuition, a quiet certainty without a clear source. We are often taught to doubt these signals. We are told that only logical thought can be trusted. But in reality, these signals may come from a complex process happening outside your awareness. Your body has been observing, recording, learning in ways you do not consciously notice. And sometimes it reaches a conclusion before the mind can catch up. This does not mean every intuition is correct, but it does mean your body is not unintelligent. It carries a different kind of knowing, one that does not require language. And when you begin to listen, gently, without judgment, without rushing to explain, you may feel a subtle shift. You begin to notice tension before it becomes overwhelming. You sense the need to rest before exhaustion arrives. You recognize which environments, which people bring ease or discomfort, as if you are relearning a language, one that has always been there, but long forgotten. And in that process, something very soft happens. You no longer try to control everything through thought. You begin to trust your sensations, not blindly, but in balance, between reason and body, between thought and feeling. And when that balance appears, your nervous system changes. It is no longer in constant alert. It begins to feel safer. Your breath slows, your muscles soften, your heart steadies, as if your body realizes it no longer needs to keep warning you. And in that state, another door opens, the door to deep rest. Because sleep is not only the shutting down of awareness, it is a state where the entire system feels safe enough to let go. And that sense of safety does not come only from thought. It comes from the whole body, from how you breathe, from how your heart moves, from subtle signals you may have never noticed. Perhaps, right now, you do not need to do anything special. Just listen, not with your ears, but with a soft attention turned inward. Feel your breath, feel your heartbeat, feel the presence of your body, and notice you are not just a mind thinking, you are a living system, feeling, responding, self-adjusting in every moment. And in that realization, there is a natural softening, a feeling as if you no longer have to do everything alone, because your body has always been there, working for you, supporting you, even when you were not aware. And perhaps the only thing you need is to allow yourself to trust it a little more. And slowly, very gently, when you stop trying to control every thought, when you stop trying to understand every feeling, your body will know what to do next. It will guide you back toward balance. And from there, naturally, you may begin to drift into a deep sleep, soft and peaceful. Habit's the language of biology. There is a gentle truth, one that can change how we see transformation. Your body does not listen to what you intend. It listens to what you repeat. We often begin with intention, familiar promises. Tomorrow I will sleep earlier. I will take better care of myself. I will change. And in that moment, everything feels clear. But then, life continues, and those intentions slowly fade. Not because you are weak, but because your body does not operate on intention. It operates on evidence. Each day, every small action you repeat is like a quiet signal sent into the system. And over time, your body begins to believe those signals, not because they are strong, but because they are consistent. If you walk each day, even for a few minutes, your body learns that movement is natural. If you sleep at the same time, your body begins adjusting its rhythm before you even notice. If you take a moment to slow your breath, your nervous system learns that calm is something it can return to. There is no magical moment, only repetition, very quiet. Carl Gustav Jung once said, "We are what we do, not what we say we'll do." Your body understands this deeply. It does not care about perfect plans. It does not judge missed days. It simply observes what you actually do again and again and again. And from that, it adapts. And something interesting happens. Change does not come from trying harder. It comes when an action becomes so familiar, you no longer need to think about it. Like brushing your teeth, like checking your phone. Habits are when actions become part of you. And when that happens, your body begins to trust. Trust that this is the new state. Trust that this is the new way of living. And then it adjusts from within. Hormones shift, heart rhythms change, energy levels transform, not through force, but through repetition. And there is something very important and very gentle. You do not need to change everything at once. In fact, when you try to change too much, the foe system feels threatened. It resists. It pulls you back, not because it is wrong, but because it seeks stability. The body loves familiarity. So change is not about breaking everything, but about introducing something small and repeating it. A slow step, a deeper breath, a small decision held across many days. And like a soft ripple, change begins to spread. You may not notice it at first, but over time, you look back and realize you are different. Not because of one big moment, but because of hundreds of small ones accumulated. From Jung's perspective, this reflects how the palm's unconscious is formed, not from one event, but from repeated patterns, from experiences reinforced over time. And in the same way, you can begin to reshape your unconscious, not by forcing new thoughts, but by living slightly differently each day. No need to be perfect, no need to be fast, just repeat. Perhaps right now, you can think of one small thing you wish to carry into tomorrow. Not a big goal, just a gentle action. Maybe sleeping a little earlier, or taking a few minutes to breathe slowly, or simply pausing and listening to your body. And if tomorrow you do it, that is already a signal, a small piece of evidence, enough for your body to begin trusting. And if you repeat it again and again, slowly, it will no longer be something you try to do, but something you are. And in that process, something soft happens. You no longer feel like you are fighting yourself. You no longer feel forced to change. Instead, you are cooperating with your own body. A quiet cooperation, patient, meaningful. And when the body feels that stability, the nervous system softens. It no longer needs constant vigilance. It begins to trust that things are okay. And in that state, sleep becomes easier. Not because you try to sleep, but because the whole system has returned to its natural rhythm. A rhythm built from small things, repeated long, enough to become part of you. And perhaps, right now, you do not need to do anything more. Just notice that every great change begins with something small, repeated with patience and gentleness. And as you allow yourself to slow down without needing perfection, without needing urgency, your body will know how to guide you back to a state of balance, natural, peaceful, and gentle enough for you to slowly drift into sleep. The body is always renewing. There is a very gentle truth, yet one that can quietly transform the way you see yourself. That your body in this very moment is not something fixed. It is not a finished version created long ago, slowly wearing down over time. Instead, it is a living flow, always moving, always renewing, always becoming something new with each passing moment. Each day, your skin is changing. Old cells quietly leave, new ones silently form. Your blood is not the same as yesterday's. Your bones, though they seem solid and unchanging, are continuously broken down and rebuilt from within. And your liver, one of the most remarkable organs, can regenerate itself, as if it carries a deep memory of healing. All of this happens in silence. No sound, no clear sign. Yet it continues, steadily, without pause. And what is truly remarkable is that your body does not renew itself randomly. It renews based on how you live, what you do each day, how you eat, how you sleep, how you think. All leave traces, not only in your mind, but within your physical structure. If you move often, your muscles adapt. If you rest well, your nervous system balances. If you remain in stress, your body learns to stay in that state. The body does not listen to what you say. It listens to what you repeat. And over time, what is repeated becomes the new normal. Carl Gustav Jung once wrote, "We are not what happened to us. We are what we choose to become." This is not only true for the mind, it is true for the body as well. You are not trapped in a single state. You are not fixed in one version of yourself. You are being rewritten each day. And this carries a deep sense of relief. Because if the body can change, then the past is not destiny. Old habits are not a sentence. Difficult phases are not permanent. The body always leaves a door open, a possibility to begin again. Even if only in a very small way. Perhaps today you feel tired. Perhaps there have been days when you did not care for yourself as you wished. But within you, renewal is still happening, like a quiet reminder that you still have time. You do not need to change everything at once. You do not need to become perfect overnight. You only need a small shift, a slightly earlier sleep, a gentler meal, a moment to pause and breathe more deeply. These small things, when repeated, begin to rewrite your body, not quickly, not loudly, but surely. From Jung's perspective, growth is not about becoming something entirely new. It is the process of individuation, becoming who you truly are, more fully. And perhaps your body is doing the same, not to become an ideal body, but to become a body that fits your life more naturally. Each time you listen to your body, each time you choose rest over force, each time you treat yourself with gentleness, you are part of that process. You are telling your body, we can change in a kinder way, and your body will respond, not with words, but with feeling, a softer breath, a warmer chest, a quiet sense of peace. Difficult to name, yet deeply felt. Slowly, you may begin to realize you do not need to force yourself into a better version. You only need to create the conditions for your body to do what it has always known how to do: renew, restore, and grow. There is a deep beauty in this, that you are not something fixed, wearing away over time. You are a process, a continuous flow of change, a living system, learning from each experience and adjusting itself. And when you understand this, a softness appears. You become less harsh with yourself, less rushed in trying to fix who you are, and more trusting of your body's ability to heal. Because even now, as you listen to these words, your body is still working for you, quietly, patiently, without asking for attention. It is rebuilding you, little by little. And perhaps what you need to do is not to control this process, but to allow it, soften a little, trust a little. And remember, you are not a finished version. You are a story, still being written. A story that, each day, your body continues to write through its quiet renewal. And as you carry this thought into sleep, you may feel a little lighter, because you know, even as you rest, healing continues, quietly, steadily, always moving toward life. Consciousness, the storyteller. There is an idea that may feel a little unfamiliar, perhaps even slightly unsettling, that you, the part you believe is in control, may not be the one making every decision. That consciousness is not the sole leader, but more like a storyteller, arriving after things have already happened, gently arranging, explaining, and creating a story that seems to make sense. If you observe carefully, you may notice this in very familiar moments. There are times when you have already decided, before you have thought. You reach for your phone before asking, why am I doing this? You feel drawn to someone, or hesitant, within the first moment of meeting, before any clear reason appears. And then, your consciousness arrives. It begins to explain. Maybe it's because they spoke like that. Maybe I'm just feeling low. Maybe I needed to check something. But in truth, those explanations may simply be stories created after the decision was made somewhere deeper. Carl Gustav Jung once said, Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. This is not meant to take away your sense of control. Instead, it opens a deeper understanding of yourself. That beneath consciousness, beneath thinking, planning, analyzing, there is another layer. A layer where memories, unspoken emotions, long-held experiences quietly shape how you see the world and how you act within it. Consciousness, in this sense, is like a light shining on a stage, but the play has already been prepared behind the curtain. And when you begin to see life this way, something interesting happens. You no longer rush to believe every thought that appears. In your mind, you begin to ask, gently, is this the whole story, or just the part being told? And this does not weaken you. It refines you. You begin to notice that some reactions do not truly belong to the present moment. Anxiety may be an echo of the past. Anger may carry something unresolved. A random decision may come from patterns you do not yet see. And when you understand this, you begin to treat yourself with more curiosity and less judgment. Instead of asking, why am I like this? You may gently ask, what within me is trying to be heard? According to Jung, the unconscious is not something dark to be controlled. It is alive, creative, and full of intelligence. But when it is unseen, it expresses itself through behaviors, through emotions that seem confusing. And then, consciousness tells a story to make sense of it all. It is a very skilled storyteller. It creates logic, but not always the full truth. There is a softness in accepting that you do not need to control everything to be yourself. You do not need to understand every decision immediately, because you are not simple. You are a complex system where many layers move together. Conscious, unconscious, emotion, memory, body, environment, all interacting continuously. And you are the result of that interaction. When you begin to see yourself this way, a gentle ease appears. You no longer feel wrong for having unusual thoughts. You no longer force yourself to always be clear, always in control. Instead, you begin to listen to what arises without rushing to explain, without rushing to fix, simply to notice that there is more happening within you than consciousness alone can grasp. And something beautiful happens when you begin to bring awareness to the unconscious. Through attention, through observation, you gain freedom, not because you control everything, but because you understand yourself more. You begin to see patterns, recognize familiar reactions, and from there, you can choose more gently, not by fighting yourself, but by working with yourself, as if you are no longer lost inside the story, but listening to it with quiet awareness. You are still the character, but also the observer, and in that space, a unique kind of peace appears, because you no longer need to believe that every thought is absolute truth. You can let them come and let them go, like clouds passing through the sky. Consciousness will continue telling stories. That is what it does. But now, you know, behind the story, there is something deeper. And if you listen patiently, it will reveal itself, little by little. And perhaps, as you carry this awareness into sleep, you may feel lighter, because you do not need to resolve everything tonight. You do not need to understand every thought. You only need to know that within you, many layers are already working. And even as your conscious mind rests, deeper parts continue processing, arranging, healing, You do not need to control that process. You only need to let go and trust that within you there is a quiet intelligence guiding you in its own way, deep and profoundly human. The mind-body loop. There are movements within you, very small, almost impossible to notice, yet quietly shaping your entire experience of life. A passing thought can make your heart beat faster. A gentle memory can allow your body to soften, and then that very body sends signals back, changing the way you think. It is a loop, a continuous conversation between mind and body. We often imagine that thoughts are above and the body is below, as if one controls the other. But in truth, they are not separate. Each thought is not merely an abstract idea. It is a biological event. When you feel anxious, your body releases stress hormones. When you feel safe, your nervous system shifts into restoration. And what is important to notice is that the body does not clearly distinguish between reality and what you imagine. A repeated negative thought can cause your body to respond as if danger is truly present. Carl Gustav Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." Perhaps part of that unconscious is these mind-body loops we do not notice. An anxious thought creates tension in the body. A tense body creates more unease, and from there, more negative thoughts arise. This loop can sustain itself gently, but continuously, like a small stream, flowing again and again, until it slowly becomes a river. You may have felt this before. A day when you are slightly tired, your body feels heavier, and then subtle negative thoughts appear. Something isn't right. I'm not okay. And in a short time, that feeling expands. Not because something major happened, but because the loop was activated. And yet, this loop is not only a source of tension, it can also become a path of healing. Because if thoughts can affect the body, then the body can also affect the mind. A slower breath can calm the mind. A relaxed posture can send a signal of safety to the brain. A gentle step can shift your emotional state without needing to think differently. This is why sometimes you do not need to solve every thought. You only need to introduce a different signal from the body. Jung did not see the human being as purely rational. He believed we are a complex system where the unconscious emotion and body interweave, and sometimes the only way to change a state is not to think more, but to feel differently. You may have noticed that when you smile, even without a clear reason, your mood shifts. Or when you step outside and take in fresh air, everything feels lighter. This is not imagination, it is biology. A small signal from the body has begun a new loop, moving toward balance. And this brings a very gentle truth. You do not need to change your entire life to feel better. You only need to change one small point in the process. Loop, a breath, a step, a moment of pause, and from there, a ripple begins. The body softens, the mind becomes clearer, gentler thoughts appear, and the loop begins to recalibrate itself, like a system finding its natural balance again. Perhaps what overwhelms us is not that everything is too complex, but that we believe we must fix everything all at once. But the body does not work that way. It responds to small changes, repeated and accumulated over time. A small shift can spread through the entire system, like touching the surface of water and watching the ripples travel farther than expected. And perhaps you do not need to control every thought. You only need to create a small condition for the loop to begin changing. Right now, you might try nothing big. Just breathe in a little slower, pause, and then breathe out gently. Notice how your body responds. No effort, just observation. And maybe you will begin to see that even the smallest change has already created a difference, a softening, a little more space in the mind. And from there, a new loop is forming. A loop not of tension, but of healing. And as you continue to repeat these small moments, your body will learn, your mind will adapt, and slowly your whole system will shift into a different state. Not suddenly, not loudly, but very slowly, very gently, like the way sleep arrives. Not when you try, but when you allow. And perhaps what you need to do is not change everything, but simply begin from one small point and trust that this change will ripple outward farther than you imagine, ending letting go and returning to your natural state. Perhaps after moving through all these layers of mind and body, what remains is not a complex answer, but a very simple feeling that you do not need to control everything. In everyday life, we are taught to try, to understand, to control, to become better every day. But there is a very quiet truth that we rarely pause to notice. Your body does not wait for you to understand it to continue functioning. Your heart continues to beat, even when you do not think about it. Your lungs continue to breathe, even when you are asleep. Your cells continue to renew, even when you are unaware. There is a part of you, very deep, very ancient, that has always known how to live, long before you could name it. Carl Gustav Jung once said, "The unconscious is not just evil by nature, it is also the source of the highest good." Perhaps within that unconscious, there is a quiet intelligence guiding the life inside you, an intelligence that is not loud, does not demand, does not require understanding, yet continues to adjust, to learn, to restore. When you are injured, your body begins to heal. When you are tired, your body seeks rest. When you are stressed, your body sends signals, asking you to pause. But sometimes we do not listen. We push through fatigue, ignore signals, continue even when exhausted inside, not because we do not care, but because we have learned to control everything. But the body does not need constant control. It needs cooperation. And sometimes the hardest thing is not doing more, but allowing yourself to stop. Letting go is not giving up. Letting go is a form of trust. Trusting that there is a part of you that knows how to balance itself. Trusting that you do not need to hold everything together for everything not to fall apart. Because the truth is, you have never fully controlled everything. And that is not as frightening as it seems. It can be very gentle, like when you lie down and allow your body to sink into sleep. You do not make sleep happen. You simply stop resisting it. Perhaps many things in life are the same. Calm is not something you must create. It is something that appears when you stop resisting. Healing does not always require effort. Sometimes it only needs space, a pause, a slower rhythm, a permission. And right now, perhaps you do not need to do anything more. Just be here, Feel your body resting in space. Feel your breath moving in and out. No need to change it. No need to adjust. Just notice that even when you do nothing, your body is doing so much. Your heart is keeping you alive. Your nervous system is adjusting your state. Your brain is processing, organizing, restoring. There is a conversation happening within you, even in silence. And the most beautiful part is, you do not need to interfere. You only need to give it space. Perhaps, in this moment, you begin to feel a very subtle lightness, not because all problems are gone, but because you are no longer holding them all at once, like setting down a weight and realizing you have carried it for a long time. Your body understands that feeling. It knows how to soften, rebalance, return, not to perfection, but to something natural, a state where you do not need to become someone else, do not need to be better immediately, do not need to fix everything, only to be yourself in this moment. And from there, everything begins to change, not through great effort, but through very small things, a deeper breath, a softer body, a quieter mind, and perhaps you begin to realize you have never truly been alone, because within you there has always been a caring for you, quietly, patiently, endlessly. Even when you are tired, even when you do not notice, it is still there. And now, as you begin to let go, perhaps you can feel it just a little more clearly. No need to understand, no need to analyze, only to allow. Within you is an ongoing conversation, and in this, the moment as you let go, your body is still quietly caring for you. And perhaps the only thing you need to do is trust that. Gently close the day. No need for perfection, just enough. And let your body do the rest. Perhaps, after everything we have explored together, from subtle thoughts to deep biological responses, from unconscious loops to moments of awareness, what remains is not complexity, but a gentle knowing that you have always been supported from within. Life may feel like something you must control, but your body has never lived that way. It does not wait for understanding to begin healing. It does not wait for perfection to allow rest. It simply continues, quietly, patiently, steadily, each heartbeat, each breath, each cell, doing its work, even when you do not notice. Carl Gustav Jung once said, "In all chaos, there is a cosmos. In all disorder, a secret order. Perhaps your body is that hidden order. Even when you feel lost, something within you is still moving toward balance. Even when you feel tired, something within you is still healing. And even when you are unsure if you are on the right path, your body is still learning, still adapting, still moving forward. Perhaps you do not need to do more. Perhaps you only need to stop resisting, to stop trying to fix everything at once, to stop believing you must understand everything before you can rest. Just allow yourself to slow down a little, a deeper breath, a softer body, a thought you do not need to follow. And in that quiet space, you may begin to feel that you do not need to become someone else to deserve rest. You, right now, are enough. Enough to pause, enough to soften, enough to sleep. There may still be unfinished things, unresolved thoughts, lingering emotions, but you do not need to carry them into sleep. You can set them down, not to abandon them, but to allow your body to do its E4. Because while you sleep, so much continues. Your brain organizes memory. Your body restores energy. Your nervous system returns to balance. You do not disappear in sleep. You are being renewed. And perhaps that is one of the most beautiful things, that you do not need to do anything for this process. To begin, you only need to step into it. Right now, you may feel your body growing, softer, slower, quieter. Your breath deepens slightly. Your shoulders release. Your mind holds less. And if a thought appears, you do not need to follow it. Just let it pass, like a cloud drifting across the sky. You do not need to do anything. Just be here. And slowly, the space between you and your thoughts widens, softer, quieter. And in that space, sleep may arrive, not because you tried, but because you are ready to let go. If you have come this far, you have given yourself something very meaningful. A moment, not to do, but to feel. And if these words have made you feel a little calmer, you may continue this journey with stories for sleep, night after night, in the same quiet way. No rush, no perfection, just slowly returning to yourself. And now, let your body do the rest. Wishing you a deep, peaceful, and gentle sleep.